Thank you for being here this evening for our Safe Schools Family presentation. We are happy to be with you tonight to share some information about the efforts we make in Springfield Township to keep all of our students and staff safe. With me tonight are Dr. Michelle Lutz, our Director of Support Services, and Mr. Stephen Chinta, our Supervisor for Campus Safety, as well as Dr. Damian Johnson, our Assistant Superintendent. Both Mr. Chinta and Dr. Lutz are going to work together to present this evening's information. And then at the end of the presentation, there'll be an opportunity for questions as well as feedback. We have a forum for you to provide feedback if you're interested. So I'm going to turn things over to Dr. Lutz and we'll get started.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Yannicone. I want to say good evening to everybody and welcome to the School District of Springfield Township Safe School Family presentation. As Dr. Yannicone shared, my name is Michelle Lutz and I'm joined tonight by Steve Chinta, and we're going to talk to you tonight on all of the many ways that the district is focused on safe schools and ensuring that every child feels like they're welcome here and have the opportunity to participate in a safe schools environment. So throughout this presentation, if you have any questions, please feel free to put those in the question and answer box. At the end of our presentation, we're going to do our best to answer your questions, but we do want to remind everyone that due to the sensitive nature of safe schools and some of the questions or topics that may come up, we may not be able to answer those questions and we won't be able to publish that information. But we will do our very best to get to all of your questions. And following our presentation, we will also update and republish our Safe Schools FAQ document that we keep active so that you have the most accurate information available to you. Okay. So the first thing that we want to highlight is that supporting safe schools is really a collaborative effort. We don't do it in a bubble here in the district. We have a lot of organizations outside of the district that help us. Everyone from the Springfield Township Police Department and Fire Department to some of our local counseling agencies like Child and Family Focus and Aldersgate. There is a Montgomery County Department of Public Safety, and they have safe schools staff that help us. We work with the Children and Youth and the Truancy Court. And most importantly, we look to parents in the community to help us with these efforts. So we're truly grateful to be part of a larger community trying to keep our schools safe. And so we want to remind everybody that safe schools is a shared responsibility. And some of the things that we're going to highlight in tonight's presentation are not only some of the features of our safe schools, but also how we work at making sure that we're building relationships with students, that we're aware of everything that's going on in the background, and that we're making communication a two-way street between ourselves, families, and any outside agencies to make sure that we're keeping students safe. So first, we'd like to talk about some of the proactive strategies that we do here in the district in order to support our students and their families. We have a lot of really great staff members here that focus specifically on supporting students with any mental health concerns that they may have. So we have teams of school counselors that run across our K through 12 buildings. They're available throughout the school day to provide students with ongoing support. They do run small groups throughout the day on various topics, everything from social skills. Some of them do grief counseling groups. For blended families, they work with students. And so there's always a variety of things going on. They get into classrooms, they do class lessons, they help teachers build social skills lessons so that children are being kind to one another and have those skills to navigate things outside of the academic realm, but that can help them to be better students. We also employ 3 full-time social workers here in the district, and their primary role is to help our families connect with outside resources. So for those families that might need support in getting connected to an outside counselor to provide some additional support, or even if they need help in filling out forms to make use of some of the government resources like medical assistance or food and shelter, and even, connecting you with some medical resources. All those things are things that our social workers are able to provide to our families. We also employ 3 full-time school psychologists, and their primary role is to work with our school teams to evaluate those students that might need something more throughout their school day. So available to students, we certainly have special education and gifted education, and then also 504 service plans for any students in need. And so these people are instrumental in providing a full network of supports for a lot of our students here in the district. We offer a multi-tiered systems of support. These are weekly meetings held at all of our buildings, and they really focus on students who might need something more and how we can connect those students with the resources. We do have a student assistance program that provides both drug and alcohol counseling and mental health supports to students who need something outside of the school day. We partner with Child and Family Focus, which is an outside counseling resource. They actually can go into student homes. They do provide some counseling resources to selected students on site at the district. And then they help to work with families on medication management and a variety of services that can help families and students succeed in school. All of our K-8 classrooms offer the Second Step program, which is a research-based social skills program. These lessons are designed to help students succeed within their school day by teaching them how to deal with problems, to be an upstander and not bully other students, and even how to socialize with one another, greet each other, and make new friends. There's a lot of great topics contained within those curriculums. Some other things that I want to highlight is that the district does employ board certified behavior analysts that can help students who have problematic behaviors throughout the school day. And we also are part of a network of Pennsylvania schools that uses the Safe to Say hotline, where people can anonymously report concerns that they may have about school safety.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight for our safety presentation. We are thrilled to be able to join you tonight to talk about an important topic of school safety. During the day, our administrative team, our teachers, and our support staff take pride in providing a safe environment for your students. And throughout the day, myself, as well as our administrative teams and our staff, do constant walkthroughs through each building to ensure that our students are safe, to ensure doors are secure, and just to provide a presence in the buildings. We also monitor different things in the buildings to make sure that if there's any safety issues, that we address them immediately. We also have different types of surveillance, whether that be cameras or in person, for the safety and security of our students. I will not get into detail of that, but please know that we do take pride in making sure we have what we need to provide a safe environment for your students. We're also thrilled to have a great working relationship with our local first responders who provide assistance with us during our drills, or with the police department who does walkthroughs throughout the day through our schools to provide a safe presence for our kids throughout the day. We also have a great working relationship with the Montgomery County Department of Public Safety, who we consult with different topics, whether it be to do assessments of our buildings or any general questions. And it's been a great working relationship to have with them. And I'd like to thank our IT department with Mr. Rich Oliver, who has been working hard with our cybersecurity enhancements, and they've done a lot of improvements with things here in the district. So we are very grateful for the work that him and his team have done to provide a safe environment over the internet for our students. And we also have on-site staff throughout the district to provide security presence during the day and evening.
And one of the nice things about our cybersecurity is that we are able to see what students are searching for on our district devices, so that we're able to make sure that students are safe and on appropriate websites while they're here with us in the district. Like we said at the beginning of this presentation, we really want to focus on relationships, awareness, and communication, because those really are the keys to keeping our schools safe. We work with our teachers and all of our staff members across the district to make sure that every child that attends one of our schools feels like they have an adult in their buildings that they're able to go to, share information with, get advice from, and we really want to stress the importance of building those relationships and having students work towards finding an adult that they feel comfortable with, because we know that in any situation, that's our best line of defense, is making sure that students feel like they're heard and that they belong here in the district. We also have worked with our teachers to make sure that they have situational awareness of everything that's going on. So whether that be, noticing that something's off with students, or, just being out in the hallways and, knowing what's going on, following through on things that don't seem right. We want people to really use, their senses to make sure that they're aware of everything, and that, they're bringing to the attention of administrators or our Safe Schools teams things that, maybe don't feel right, so that we can investigate and make sure that we're on top of those things. And we also want to stress the importance of communication, and that's communication coming from schools. And we want to let you know when things are happening. We take great pride in sending out information, keeping on top of situations in our buildings. If something happens, making sure that we're reaching out, so that we're providing parents and family members with that information. And then also giving you conversation points to talk about with your students, whether that's, some educational resources, or, just keeping you aware of things that are going on in the building, so that you're able to follow up with your students and have those conversations. We want to take a little bit of time to talk about some of the preventative measures that we are able to do here in the district. So the first thing is, we really pride ourselves on the incredible staff professional development that we provide. Throughout the year, staff get a lot of information that comes to them about safety updates, things that we're doing throughout the building, so that they know what we're following up on. We constantly solicit feedback from people, and then make changes based on those recommendations. We're always looking at best practices from around both locally and around the nation, as to what we can be doing to make sure that we have safe schools procedures in place. We work extensively with the county. They come in and provide us with information on our schools, so that we can continue to share that information with relevant staff members and make adjustments as needed. And then we also want to make sure that all of our staff members are aware of our visitors procedures, and what visitors should be wearing when they go throughout the building. They should have ID on them. Our staff members are wearing ID, so that it's easy to see who belongs in our buildings. And then also, we report out on our drills, and so we want to make sure that all of our staff members know what they should be doing during those drills. We have a variety of drills that we do provide throughout the year that both students and staff members participate in. They have set procedures across all of the buildings, so wherever they are, they know what they should be doing. We offer a variety of practice dates, so that we make sure we're doing things in all different types of situations. And staff members also have access to cards that give them information about those drills.
As Dr. Lutz mentioned, we do go through different drills throughout the district for our students to practice. This is a brief overview of the drills that we do take care of during the school year. I'm not going to get into detail as to what procedures take place during the drills for safety and security reasons, but we just wanted to give you an idea of what your students are being trained on when they're in the school system to keep them safe.
And something that we also want to highlight is that we do have select staff members throughout the district who are trained in a variety of best practices for when we need to respond in an emergency. So if there is a medical emergency on site, not only do we have some nurses and some other staff members, they're all trained in CPR, first aid, and the use of our AED machines. We do use crisis prevention intervention methods. And so we have a variety of staff members at our buildings that are also trained in that, and that's to help de-escalate situations. And our nurses also receive Stop the Bleed training, which is another method to help them, be able to apply tourniquets in situations. We want to highlight one of the most important and effective measures for safe schools is making sure that your staff and your students receive ongoing training. And so that's something that we've been working really hard to make sure that everyone has access to. So all of our administrators have opportunities to participate in local and national safe schools trainings. There's a lot of information that's out there, and so we're able to hear from different resources about some of the best practices. We do have some security awareness trainings that we go through. We also work together to do building walkthroughs and make sure that we're all looking for, some of the safe schools points that we want to make sure that everyone's aware of. We also go over a lot of our best practices, and our administrators do receive threat assessment training so that they're able to work directly with students and or staff members who, may pose a threat. All of our new staff members do get an introduction to school safety through their induction process. They also have extensive training on mandatory reporting and suicide prevention so that they have those skills coming into the district and they're able to hit the ground running. And then they also get to participate in the Springfield Township Safe Schools Workshop, where they get, a lot of really good information that myself and Steve are able to provide directly to them. They can ask us questions so that they have some opportunities to be able to understand where some of our more veteran staff members are coming from. And then we obviously do annual trainings with our staff members. This year we conducted building safe schools meetings in every single building across the district. It was a great opportunity to bring everyone together and to offer people a chance to hear the same information and then also ask questions. We do monthly drills in our buildings. And then we have some trauma-informed practices. We do bullying prevention. And then we obviously provide some of our clinical team members, which are counselors, psychologists, and social workers, with threat assessment updates. So even when we've done all of the proactive and preventative measures, sometimes we need to be able to respond and react to situations that happen in the school district. And so that's part of our Safe Schools response. And so some of the ways that we're able to do that is we do have, like we talked about, our staff members trained in suicide assessment and threat assessments. For suicide assessments, when students have indicated that they wish to harm themselves, we do have a research-based protocol that our counselors and social workers are familiar with running students through, reaching out and communicating with parents, and connecting students to resources to help them and guide them along their path to recovery. We also have a threat assessment protocol that when we are aware of students that are making making claims of wanting to hurt other students, we can take them through this questionnaire and really work with them to determine the level of the threat. Because there are different levels between what some of maybe our smaller students may say that they're going to do. You know, it really looks at what is the likelihood of someone being able to attempt and carry out this type of threat. And then it's designed to help connect that person with resources so that hopefully they don't repeat that threat. And like I spoke about before, we do have crisis prevention intervention training, and that's really to help de-escalate students who have any behavior concerns. The goal is to be able to manage those concerns before they reach a peak level. So we have a lot of staff members that are trained in that, and some best practices around that to make sure that students feel safe throughout the school day.
Thank you, Michelle. As we mentioned before, we do have an ongoing consultation with our local and county first responders. During our drills, we do rely on their expertise to come and do reviews of our drills with us, where we can find areas where we may need to improve on. And we also have a group within the county of all of our school safety directors who have the opportunity to meet once a month to talk about best practices and different things that we can do to help each other to provide the safe environment for our students.
Okay. One of the things that's really important for us for Safe Schools is providing some data around what we're seeing within both our school and larger community. And so we wanted to share this information with you. And so when we talk about Safe to Say, which is that anonymous reporting line, last year during the 2021-2022 school year, we received 7 tips through that portal. We want to share with families tonight that we think that that's a pretty good number, because what that indicates to us is that students and family members feel comfortable reporting things that concern them directly to our staff members. And so this is a great hotline that you can call into if you're looking to report anonymously. But obviously we know that there were more than 7 things that needed to be reported last year. And so we think it's great that students have built relationships with our staff members and feel comfortable coming to them and sharing some of their concerns so that those things can be investigated. We also want to talk about incidents that we have to report to the police. Every school in Montgomery County has some oversight from a Safe Schools organization. And so we have what's called a memorandum of understanding between our school district and the police department. Again, that's every school in Montgomery County that has that memorandum of understanding between themselves and any local police department or departments that operate within their district. And so that MOU tells us what we need to report to the police. And there's certain incidents that we always have to make sure that we're at least making the police aware of those things. And so throughout the district last year, there were 13 of those incidents that we needed to report. And so in each of those cases, we worked cooperatively with the police to make sure that we had the best outcome for the student. Every other year, our students in 6th, 8th, and 10th grade participate in what's known as the Pennsylvania Youth Survey. This is a survey that asks them a variety of questions about everything from drug and alcohol use to their sense of belonging in the community, to what types of activities they're involved in. But one of the questions is specifically around feeling safe in the school community. And as you can see, 84.6% of our students reported that they do feel safe here at Springfield Township. We're really proud of that number. Obviously, it's higher than the 82% from the overall state level, but I think that it also speaks volumes coming back from the COVID closures when students may have had a difficult time adjusting to the in-school environment. So this is a really good number that we feel like we can only grow from. Okay. And now we want to talk about an important point that we feel like this is the entire purpose of this meeting, is discussing how we can partner with families in order to support our Safe Schools efforts here at school. And so again, we want to hit on those relationships, awareness, and communication. Okay? And so we just want to, help us help students by talking to parents and having daily conversations with your child, staying up to date on the friends that your child has, being aware of any social media that they're involved in, so that you make sure that you know what's going on. And then you can also help report back to us. You can reach out to your child's counselor, teacher, administrator, anyone that you feel connected to at the district, to let us know if there's something concerning that's going on with either your child or something that your child's hearing. We know that partnership between ourselves and our families is crucial to making sure that we're maintaining safe buildings. We also want you to know that we want you to be aware of what's going on with your child or any of the students that your child may hang out with. Sometimes as a parent, you notice changes within your child. And if you're concerned about those, we definitely want you to reach out to the counselor, the social worker, somebody at your child's school to let us know. We have a lot of resources that we can connect, your child with, both in school and outside of school, that can really help them if there is something going on. That's a great preventative measure. And we're always happy to work with families to make sure that, whatever is going on in your child's life, that we're helping you and partnering with you. And we also want to talk about communication. We partner with a lot of really great organizations, and we're always looking as a two-way street to share that out. Something new for this year is we are going to have a student wellness committee, and through that committee we have a couple of different initiatives that we're going to be sharing, or that parents have shared with us. One of those programs is Be Smart, and if you've been at your child's open house, you'll see some of that information. But Be Smart is a program that works to remind families to keep weapons out of reach from children in the home. And so that's another great way that we're partnering to make sure that, families are staying safe, not only in their school community, but also in their home community, so that they don't have access to things to be able to even bring them into school. Some other organizations that we've been working with include Aldersgate, which they have some wonderful drug and alcohol programs so that we can help our students stay safe. And we've also been looking to partner with Be Part of the Conversation, and that will be some upcoming sessions to help parents better understand some of those awareness things that they can be looking for within the home, in case your child is displaying some concerning behavior. Okay. And we just want to remind you that anytime that you're concerned about anything, you can most definitely call the school. We're always happy to talk to you and hear any concerns. If it has to do specifically with something with the school, we will make sure that we investigate those concerns. But you also are able to report anonymously through Safe to Say. They do have a mobile app. They have a number, and they also have a website that you can enter information. Okay. At this point in time, I'm going to check over. We don't have any questions, but what I am going to do is, like I said at the beginning, we do have a feedback form for any of our attendees, and I am going to drop that into the chat so that you have access to that. So if you had any questions that you didn't want to ask in this session, or if If you have any feedback that you'd like to give us on this presentation, you can click on that in the chat box and you'll be able to share your information. Just checking again, and I don't see any submitted questions. Okay. So at this time, I would like to thank everyone for attending our Safe Schools webinar. It's been a pleasure getting to see everybody tonight and being able to present this information to everyone. If you do have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to myself or Steve. Our emails are listed here. It's always our first name _ our last name. So Stephen Chinta at SDST.org or Michelle Lutz at SDST.org. And we're always happy to answer any of your questions. You can also reach out to your building administrators or anyone here in the district. I'd like to thank all of our building administrators who did jump on the meeting tonight. And with that, I'll say good night to everybody. Enjoy this beautiful evening. Thank you.